Hi, welcome to Code. In this episode of Daily Dose, we'll be solving a TCS Infosys Coding Interview question. So the name of the question is unique range. So in this question, we are given two integers as input. So in this case, we have 20 and 24. So what do we have to do? We have to find the unique numbers in this given range. So what do I mean by that? We'll see it. So we are given the numbers 20 to 24 here, and to the right of it we have all the numbers that are unique. So the characters in this 20 or 24, these numbers should be unique. So in the case of 22, we have two 2's simultaneously in the same number. In that case, the number is not unique and hence we will not print that value. But all the other numbers from 20 to 24 are unique and hence we will print that value. So we are given the range from 20 to 24 and we are finding the unique range, the numbers which are unique. So what logic do we use to solve this problem? We'll use an hash map to find whether the element is unique or not. So how do we do that? Step 1 in this process would be to convert the integer that we have to a string. So the integer 20 has now been converted into string. So what are we doing? We are traversing the string and storing these elements in a hash map. So we'll start with the first letter, that is 2. So we are checking whether do we have 2 already stored in a hash map. This is the first element, hence we will not have any value stored in the hash map. So we'll add this 2 to the hash map. So we have the key as 2 and the value is stored as 1. We are storing 1 because we want to check whether we have it already or not. So it doesn't matter what we store, we just want to see whether it's there or not. So let us move on to the next element, that is 0. So now we are at 0 and we are checking whether do we have 0 already stored in the hash map or not. We do not have any zeros and hence we'll store it in the hash map. So now we have 0 as the key and value as 1. So in this case we are at the end of the string and 20 is unique, so we did not have any repetition. So we'll print this value. But in case, let us say we have a number like 22. In this case there are two 2's and they are not unique, of course. So as we saw, the step 1 is to convert the string into an integer, and now we are at the traversing part. The first character of this string will not have any issues because it is the first character and hence we will be able to store it in the hash map. So while storing the first value, we will store the key as 2 and the value as 1. But while traversing the second element, that is in this case again 2, we'll check whether we have the element already stored in the hash map, and we do have it, and hence we'll mark a flag variable that we call as is unique as 0. We are using this is unique flag key in order to check whether do we have to print this value or not. So in this case we have already stored 2 in the hash map and we are again at 2. So this means the number is not unique and hence will not print this value. So this is the logic that we are going to use to solve this problem. So let us move on to the code and program this logic. So here we are in the compiler to code this logic. So we have the main function and the unique range of function. So in the main function we have 3 statements essentially. So we have the two assignment statements n1 and n2. They have the values as 11 and 23, and we are calling the unique range of function. So this unique range of function is a void function that prints all the values that are unique. So let us start with the first for loop that goes from I is equal to n1 and all the way up to I is equal to n2, and in this iteration we will check for each number whether they are unique or not. If they are unique, we will print that value, and if they are not unique, we will not print that value. Okay. So for int I is equal to n1, I is less than or equal to, since both the values are included, I is less than or equal to n2 and I plus plus. So this is the first for loop. Step 1 in this for loop would be to convert the given integer to a string. So we'll have a temporary string called as string temp, and it will store the integer value, it will store the string value of this integer n1. So we are using the toString of function to convert this integer into a string. So we are converting the value of I to a string and storing it in the value of temporary variable. Okay, so next step would be to initialize the unordered map and then traverse this string that we just created and store it in the map. So we'll first create the unordered map unordered map, it stores a character and an integer. The integer is of course 1 and the character is 2, 0, the numbers as characters. Let us name the map as map, and we have the map. So what do? We traverse this string and then check whether the elements are unique. So for int j is equal to 0, temp of j should not be equal to null, which means we are traveling till the end of the string and we are incrementing value of j. Okay, so we are traveling element by element till we reach the last element. So what is the first step while traversing this follow? So we have to check whether the element is already present in the hash map. If it is already present, then it means it is not a unique value and hence will not print this value. But if it is unique, we'll come under else clause, then we'll store it in the hash map and move on to the next element in the given string. So if the value is stored in the hash map, temp of I, in this case j, so map of temp of j is equal to 1. It means it is already there in the hash map. So that would mean it is not unique. So we'll have a flag value. So is unique is set to 0. We'll first initialize it to 1. Int is unique is equal to 1, and we have assigned it as 0, and then we'll break this follow because we know it is not unique, so we did not traverse the rest of the array to find the other elements are unique or not. So we'll break this for loop, and that is the if condition. Now we are moving on to the else part. So this else part would mean that the element is not present in the hash map. Then we have to store it in the hash map. So map of temp of j is equal to 1. We are assigning the value of 1 to the temporary variable j as key value. So the key is the character temp of j and the value is 1. Okay, that is the else part. Now if part is done and the else part is done. So the only thing for us to check is whether the element is unique or not. If it is unique, we'll check that with the if statement and print it. If it is not, we'll just move on to the next element. So is unique of, so is underscore unique is equal to 1. Then we'll have a cout statement to print the value of I. So printing I and then endl, and that's it. So we'll run this program and verify our output. We have the n1 value as 11 and n2 value as 23. So our output should be the unique values from 11 to 23. So 11 is not unique as we have one next to each other, and 22 is also not unique. So we'll have the output as right from 12 all the way up to 23 but except 22. So let's run this and we have got the output. So 12 all the way up to 23 and except 22. And that is the solution to this program. So let us move on to the write out session. So if we pass in the values 551 and 560 as the two integers to the function that we just completed, what would be the output? Let me know your answers in the comment section below. If you love this video, please drop a like and comment down below if you have any queries. And please don't forget to click the subscribe button. We'll see you in the next episode of Daily Dose. Until then, bye bye.